You know, I just get fired up. Like anytime we talk about where you're going, I'm like, let's fucking go there. Whoa! Like it's just good though because, but this is, you know, it takes a certain kind of character to be able to lock in like that. And like, you know, is it healthy? Is it not? Well, it's what you want to do. Like you've got a vision for your life. You're going after it. Like everyone has a different vision for their life. And, you know, don't knock people for that. For
sure.
They're all different. And, you know, I think it's awesome. You're doing good stuff. Like, you know, since I came on the first time, you've come so far since then. Like so far, you know, like talking about, I want to go all in. I'm feeling like I should go all in. Well, you're all in. And it's like, you know, you're making it happen. You're making it work. So it's good stuff, you know.
Appreciate you.
It's exciting. I'm so freaking excited. I'm just like going to continue coming back just for an annual review. Like,
Bardie Somerville, round 2.
Yeah, round 2. Let's go.
Appreciate you joining me again. It's been, I think we had our conversation on August the 17th, 2024.
Do we?
Yeah, so it's been over a year, or well over a year now.
All right.
Crazy, isn't it?
It honestly feels like years. Like, do you feel that?
I was listening to how I spoke then and just like, even just our conversation back then, and I was like, wow, I can't believe it, honestly.
It's crazy. I feel like even looking back to who I was then, like I feel like that is just so far ago. Like I feel like just so much has happened and I've grown a lot like in that time. Like I feel like a new version of myself.
How so?
I don't know. I think like we're all constantly growing and changing. I feel like I've become just so much more comfortable with myself and I've come into a lot more acceptance of just like continuation of life and just kind of understanding it's not these big things, these big moments, but it's just who we are every day and finding peace in, I know where I'm going, I'm working on it and like just keep doing that, just keep ticking it over and I'm happy with that. I'm content with that. You know?
Our life is a journey. Growing up, I thought you got to an age and things were just good and not hard. That's actually not true at all. I want to live a life where I'm never sad or hurt or angry. But I can't because that would be giving up the things that really matter, like love. You really can't have your cake and eat it too. Life isn't all good, but it's not all bad. Remember writing that?
I say some good stuff.
You don't remember writing that?
I don't remember writing it, but I feel like it's definitely something I would say. Like, it's true. We want to, like, all we want in our life, like, you know, our brains are wired to want safety and to want comfort. We want to stay in what we know. But through doing that, we give up the greatest gifts of life. You know, it's truly like you have to step into the fire to get to where you're going. Like that's where the good stuff happens.
What do you think are the greatest gifts in life?
What do I think are the greatest gifts in life? Oh, I think the first one that comes to mind is like love. And that's for just, you know, friends, partners, family. Like being able to just love someone is really special. And, you know, the flip side of that is grief. Like to love someone is to accept that like there's no agreement to, do you know what I mean? Like it's not, life's unexpected. Things happen. We lose people, time, you know, shit happens. Love doesn't always last forever. And all of our lives are on different times. Like we lose people.
I heard someone say where there's immense grief, there's been immense love. And I think I said it in our conversation last time, but I still haven't had a family member that's passed away since I've been alive. So I've never really felt, you know, immense grief in my life. And I'm not sure if it's a good thing.
I think it changes, like grief changes you and it changes you in a lot of ways, but it also makes you see life really differently. And I think the way we live our lives now, it's really easy to wake up every day. You're tired. Like,
No.
but it's really easy to wake up every day and just be like, oh, Groundhog Day. Life goes on. I'll always be this age. I'll always be doing this. But when you lose someone, you actually have this realization that it's like, okay, yeah, this ends. Like, death is just so final.
I had someone talking about that I think I even wrote it down. Yeah. You have the same number of hours in a day as you ever have, and they're always moving at the same pace. Even if you were circling a black hole or moving near the speed of light, your experience of time would remain the same. 1 second is always 1 second, always. So if this is the case, why do we feel like time changes speed? Well, there is a difference between present time and remembered time. Your experience of time, you experience time differently in the moment versus when you recall it. Your present time will always remain at the same speed, but your remembered time can vary widely. So when we say that time is speeding up, we don't actually mean it passes more quickly, but it seems to have passed more quickly when we recall it. It's not that a week went so quickly, but I don't recall when I did during that week. Memory is our way of reliving our past experiences and re-experiencing our time. We remember our time with respect to what we were doing, where it was, who we were with, and the emotions we had.
Yeah. It's interesting. Memory's funny because I actually took time, like, it's funny. So earlier this year, like, I went back to therapy because I'd been really struggling with PTSD, and like I started having, like, every day I was having like memories come up and like just living in this loop. And I started working with my psychologist, who has been like amazing, but it got me really curious as to like why we remember what we remember. Like, I became like super curious about memory and went and looked into how we attach like just how when there's emotion in a memory, we just like cling onto it. And it's interesting because before like any of this was happening, I always felt like really attached to this quote, and it said, you won't remember what they did, but you will remember the way it made you feel. And it's funny, I think feeling, emotion, memory, like they are one. And it's just something to be so aware of as we go through life. Like, how do we want to remember our lives? How does our life make us feel? How do we want to rewrite that story? And I think emotion is a really powerful part in that. And also knowing as we step through our lives, as we continue through our lives, are we just rewriting the emotion that we're comfortable with, that we've already experienced? Or are we going to like step out more boldly and like experience feelings and emotions that are unfamiliar to us, but are going to help us rewrite like those pathways in our mind and see the world differently?
Was emotion the motivation to actually, was that what was when you said you had the PTSD and stuff? Was it emotion that came from that resulted in you seeing your psychologist? Or
it was, I mean, I saw my psychologist because I honestly got to the point where I was like, wow, this is like, I can't do this on my own anymore. Like, you know, I'm someone who I really like to understand things, unpack things, but it got to a point like it was really impacting my life. And I think emotion was a really big part that brought it all up. Like, it wasn't that I experienced the same thing. It's that I experienced like an emotional situation that led me and reconnected me to a memory of something that I'd experienced and took me back like into that loop, which might sound really weird, but I mean, it kind of is. Like the brain is super interesting, and it's been just a really strange journey, like going through my own mind and like being in that space and feeling like that was something, because it also experiencing that brings up so many big emotions for you, like, and it takes you back there and you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to move through this. Like there's all those thoughts that happen with it. And I suppose, you know, going and like seeing a professional and working through that, it feels like it feels like amazing to be able to like even speak about it and not go into a loop of it. But it makes me really aware of the power of our minds and the power of, rewriting what we live in. Does that make sense?
100%. Were the things that were bringing it up, were they, you know, your typical things throughout the day? Like, was it small things that were bringing up those memories? You said it was like a cycle of things, like you were getting into a state of mind where things were coming up.
Yeah, I think.
Like, what were those things?
Honestly, I think for me, anytime I have like, you know, I think on the last podcast we talked a little bit about my life growing up and things like that, which is super different to the life I have now. But as my life continues to become calmer, as my nervous system kind of finds its new baseline, and a lot of people would find this, it's not in the chaos of our lives that we have big things come up. And a lot of people probably say like, oh, you know, I function really well in chaos. Well, you know, of course you do. You know, think about the environment you grew up in. Is that a familiar environment for you? Like, okay, yeah, that's probably how you learnt to operate. But as I've got older and I've really, you know, I do a lot of stuff still, but I really try and prioritize that time to calm my nervous system. I surround myself with really safe people. And it's actually been through surrounding myself with safe people and with people that really help me be in that state that my mind and my body feel like safe enough to bring things up. So it's funny that through finding safety, I've like nearly opened up a challenging can of worms. You know,
I'm going to take you into, because I do a bit of a Dear Diary every week, twice a week actually, and I just put them on LinkedIn, and they don't get much engagement, but I like doing them.
I love that stuff. Yeah.
But it was about that calmness. So I basically, you know, in summary, I said, for a while I convinced myself that this was the price you had to pay to make it, which is like the overworking and stuff. That constant pressure was part of the deal, that slowing down meant falling behind. But in the same week, my bookkeeper emailed me saying I'd made a significant amount more than I would have earned my real estate wage in a month. All that fear I've been running on was completely unnecessary. And then it said, although I'm not even close to where I want to be, things are working. For the first time in months, I allowed myself to take it easy for a few days. And that's not to say I won't be pushing the limits. I'm just merely trying to imply that I never went into this game to lose myself in the process. As I sit here writing this on a Sunday night, I'm reminded of my wallpaper now more than ever. Playing decades, your world changes when you do one thing forever. Find one craft, one company, one mission. Might take years to find your things. You might never find it, but when you do, you know, and sacrificing everything for it will never feel like a sacrifice. Basically implying that in order to do something well, you need that state of mind, you need that calm, you need that clarity. Because if you don't have it, they also said the thing that inspired me to write that was, if you tie your happiness or worth to something that hasn't happened yet, then you'll never be content.
Yeah.
So it's like trying to be calm, trying to be happy, trying to appreciate where you are in the journey, as opposed to where you think you should be.
Yeah. It's hard as well though, because like I really feel like in the world now we have this happiness obsession. Like we're obsessed with happiness. Like we want to be happy all the time, and it's not normal. Like we're actually not meant to be because we're human and we have the ability to experience such a big range of emotions, and you have to allow yourself to feel things when they come up. You have to allow yourself to move through all these different things. Like, even when this is something I've been trapped in so many times, but when I lost my granddad, and he was that was my dad growing up. He was so important to me. And I forced myself to go back to work, 2 days later, after sitting with him, after saying goodbye, and putting so much pressure on myself, bounce back, be happy, bounce back, be happy. What's wrong with me? I'm not bouncing back. What's wrong with me? And it's we put ourselves in this place that we are feeling anything that's not positive is negative, but it's actually positive to be able to feel negative emotions and to go through them, to understand yourself in a better way.
Why?
Why is it important? Because when we allow ourselves to actually sit in discomfort, when we allow ourselves to be there, you recognize that there's nowhere that you stay. That it's emotions, they're like a moving carriage, and you jump on, you take the ride, you go to where it needs to take you, and then you hop off again. But if you constantly tell yourself that what you're feeling is not okay, it's not okay, it's not okay, you're just creating this pressure cooker that you get to a place where what do you feel? You blunt yourself out. The more we stop ourselves from feeling the low emotions, the more you stop yourself from being able to feel the positive ones as well. We need to understand that life it's give and take. It's here and there. It's, if you want it all, you can't just go, I want it all, but I don't want that. You have to take it all on.
I think I remember you saying, I might look happy, I do this and I do that, and I've got a smile on my face, but it's not always the case.
Yeah.
And I think that's why what you do is it's normal to have those feelings. But I think there's the perception perhaps that a lot of people don't have those feelings that,
yeah.
I look at anyone that's achieved success and I'm just you must just have it all figured out.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are just
who does?
Exactly.
We look at everyone.
Everyone's got their own problems.
People look at you and feel that way. People, there's so many times in my life people will look at me, and I'm sure they look at you. We do it to everyone, that we all have different people we look up to, and we just look at them and we think there must be something about them. There must be something special, or they have something I don't have. But so much of it really does come down to choice and just deciding who you want to be. We all come from different places, and I do believe we all have the ability to go to whatever destination we want. That's there. But when we put people on these pedestals and we go, oh, well, they had that, or it doesn't work. We all have fears. We all have insecurities. It's just true. I was doing this training not that long ago and was in a room full of people, and they asked us something. I can't remember what it was, but it was something around who has fears. And no one in the room put their hand up. And I put my hand up, and I actually said, I was like, you guys are you're joking yourself. Every single person in here, I can guarantee, wakes up scared to be themselves sometimes, or feels like they're not enough. It's normal. We're human, and we've just become really comfortable with online being able to edit ourselves to a point, edit our lives to a point that they look polished, that then we feel the need to translate that onto our internal world, and it doesn't work.
Finding peace in the chaos. I think That's you mentioned the word calm before as well.
Yeah.
I think that is such an underrated
Calm.
state of mind.
It's hard though.
Yeah, it's really hard. Yeah, when
How
you're
do
in
you
a thick
find
of
it?
I've tried because honestly, like
Yeah, like honestly.
in the first 3 months of going all in, I was like, I can do this forever.
Yeah.
Like I can get up at 7
Yeah.
and I can work till 2 a.m.
Yeah.
Like I could, and then 3 months later or 4 months or a month later, I'm like, okay, I can't do this forever. I can work hard.
Yeah.
But I need to find some calm.
You're also human, yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, like I am just like in a constant state of dopamine.
Yeah.
Like constant. And that's why I said I called you from the sauna yesterday. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm really trying to find peace in the chaos. I think it's not like it's chaos. It's more just calm.
Yeah.
I think when you're calm, if you work too hard, life probably won't go too well. If you don't work hard enough, your life probably won't go too well. If you work just enough, your life probably is going to go really well.
Yeah, but it's a hard balance to
Yeah.
find. I think it's like, as you're saying with the sauna, one of the most underrated thing is just having one thing, you know? In a world where you can do like every single thing, you could biohack your life away.
Yeah.
Just do one thing.
Yeah.
Like just start with one thing you can do for yourself and just stick to it. You know, go for a walk.
Yeah, I'll do that in the morning.
I mean, not
Yeah,
you.
of course. Yeah,
I'm
of
not
course.
saying like you,
100%.
but
Yeah.
I feel like we overwhelm ourselves putting even all of this wellness stuff on our plate that is just we're unable to hit the target. So it's just so much of it is a reality check of what is actually possible for me at this point in time. What do I need? And what can I actually reach for? Because if you're in a place where you're really struggling, all this stuff's happening, you then create yourself this massive goal that is just for where you're at, impossible, near impossible, you're only going to feel worse when you can't get there.
Yeah.
So it's like just start with something small and allow yourself to build on that. And when you get there, build on that again.
I think it's important for anyone listening from personal experience to tie a feeling to what it feels like to actually achieve a goal.
Yes.
Because like I had a lot of goals that I was working towards, but as soon as I got there, I was like, oh, well, the goalposts, and you spoke about it before, the goalposts have shifted. So like, I think, right, and you were kind enough to come over to my house and actually write down some of the goals that I wanted. Remember that, the whiteboard. I think it is important, because I still got them in my room. It's important to tick them off and look at what you've achieved, because from personal experience, like I always said, I miss the moment, I miss the feeling where I was chasing to get monetized from YouTube. Because now that I've hit it, it's like, what am I doing now?
Yeah, what am I doing now?
It's like, oh,
We love the pursuit.
the pursuit is so
The
much better.
pursuit is like I never understood it when people would talk about loving the pursuit of something.
Yeah.
Like I have found like I enjoy pursuing things now. But coming
So
into
true.
a place where I feel like most of like everything I do aligns to what I want to keep doing. And I think if you can come to a place where everything you're doing is in pursuit of your life, that is a pretty awesome space to be, where you're waking up every day and the actions you are taking, they have meaning in that pursuit of your life.
I wrote down something here. This is your daily reminder to stop chasing what isn't meant for you and start chasing what lifts you up and gives you that this is where I need to be feeling. You and you only can go out and chase your dreams and success.
Did you write that?
And that's words from yourself.
Is that from me? It's so good. No, but it's true though. Because it's like, for how many
You
of
knew
us...
that wasn't from me.
No,
you were like, you
no.
smiled. I saw you smile. You're like,
Well,
that
because I was
was
like,
me.
that is good. Well, I know. Well, it's something I believe. Then I was like,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
you think that too. Maybe you feel
that
that
was
way
like,
too.
you smiled because you knew it was you, I reckon.
Yeah, well, it's just, it makes me feel good though. Like there's actually, outside my life. Like there's nothing that fires me up more than watching people live out and pursue their own life.
Wow.
Like to literally go after what is in them. And I love it. Like
Why do you like that?
Oh, it just like it actually riles me up. Like because I see it in people, and I think because I've been there myself. But when you look at someone and they're chipping away and like there's that fear and they're scared and they're like, oh, I can't. And you just see like all the thoughts happening in their head of like what people will think and maybe it'll never happen. And like you just, you just put that fire behind them and go like, you can. And just you help them pursue that. And then you just see them put themselves in the corner and like back up against a wall and go after it. Like it's good.
In the last conversation, you said your value was there in being there for. So you thought your value was being there for people.
Yeah.
But you also said that when it was for yourself, you thought it was too hard. Does that make sense?
No, what do you mean?
So
like when other people are there for me.
You said you thought people enjoyed your presence because you could be there for them when they were going through hard times. But when you needed it for yourself, you thought that it was too hard. Like,
yeah.
Do you still, because what you just said there, like you like seeing everyone, achieve their dreams and achieve their success. Do you still feel as though, for lack of a better word, burden?
Oh my gosh.
Like,
I literally was talking to my therapist about this yesterday.
Really?
I'm not even joking. And she's
maybe
like,
I need to be your therapist.
No. No, but she was like, we need to work on this.
Yeah.
Because it's hard. Like,
so you still feel that?
I definitely still feel that. Like,
Why?
honestly. Because it's like in my life, I'm really lucky. I've got some really good people around me that remind me that like it's a joy for them to support me. Like that the way I feel about them is the way they feel about me. But it's hard to accept because in my life I haven't known what it is to rely on someone else or to have someone, well, not so much now, but when I was younger to, have someone who was just really stable and really there. So yeah, it can feel burdensome when I need support or when I don't have it figured out. Like I've, throughout my life, like as a young person, always had to have my back and always had to be the one that's pushing myself and moving the needle and being that support for myself. So I think there's definitely times where I do need help and I do feel like a burden and I do feel weak. And I think a lot of people can relate to that. Like, we all want to be the person that is supporting someone else, but when it comes the other way, it's uncomfortable. But I do believe it's kind of flipping that and remembering how it feels when we support someone and see them do better. And that's the way other people feel when we allow them to do that for us. And it's actually a really important part in progressing and building your relationships, building that trust. It's like I've got certain people in my life that I, allow to be that for me. But it takes me time. It takes time for me.
Is there a memory or a moment this year, it sounds like from what you said last time, that you have needed that support?
Oh, so many times.
Yeah.
Like so many times. It's been such a big year. It's been a massive year, as I was talking about, like, even going back to therapy and
did you feel, whether shame is the word, did you feel as though, like, yeah, you mentioned weak. Did you mention weak before? Did you feel as something, or the fact that you recognised you needed to go is probably the opposite of that, but what was the emotion when you felt that?
No, I will never feel weak for going and receiving professional help, because it's like that's, I've been there so many times, and like I know, like, weak for me is
not doing it
because I know the place that can take me, and you know, I look around me at all the people I have in my life that I love, that love me back. And I don't want to do that. You know, losing people to the struggles of mental health it is so devastating. Like, it's so devastating. And like, if I can recognize that something's happening with me, then I'll go and get the help. The hardest part about getting help in Australia is like the process of it. And, you know, going to your GP, getting a mental health plan, then finding like a counselor, psychologist, and then that, although, you know, you get like 10 sessions rebated, that it's, you know, you're still talking like sessions like $210 now. So it's not the most accessible thing. And, you know, you're also trying to find someone that suits you and is going to be able to help you. But did I feel weak? No, I didn't feel weak for asking for help. I think I find myself frustrated, and it can feel like, I can feel like a burden in a way of, sometimes it feels like there's so much that I'll be chipping away at for the rest of my life, that can feel hard. And, you know, everyone's got their stuff, but sometimes it can feel like I've got a lot of stuff. And so when people come into my life, I get tired of continually having to do like the maintenance on my mental health and well-being. And I hate putting that onto people. But, you know, most people don't actually feel like that. And I have to remind myself it's an internal thing. And, you know, we're adults now. We're responsible for how we step into relationships. And I have really open dialogue with my relationships in my life. Like, you know, how are you feeling about this? How does this feel for you? Is this too much? Like, you know, it's like communication is so important in all aspects, like friends, relationships, family, whatever. Like, you have to have it.
You mentioned suicide before. I don't know if you're comfortable talking about it, but I saw the other day, I think what name was? Yeah.
Sad. I think we can talk about it, but like, we'll cut her name.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I lost a friend recently, and yeah, that was incredibly hard. Like, that is incredibly hard. And it definitely changed, because suicide's awful. Like, to get to the place where, you know, you're contemplating your own life, like, that's a really dark place. And, you know, when I was younger, being in that place myself and watching many people so close to me that I love being in that place, like, you can feel really helpless. But there's also a part of it that when you're in that place, like, you're not thinking clearly. You know, it's hard to see life past your emotions. And losing my friend recently, it was like the biggest reality check, like, on life, that, you know, someone who I'd known since I was young and who had really taught me a lot about life, who I looked at and had seen overcome so much. Like, there's people in life that overcome so much that you look at them and you believe that they can conquer the world, and then to stand at their funeral and know that that's it. that's it. That's like, you're standing at their funeral and they're in a coffin. That's it. Like, that's really sad. And it's just, yeah, it's sad. It's just awful. Like, there's like nothing you can say. Like, it's like that person's life is over, and it made me really just be so reminded of the importance of looking after my own mental health, checking in on my friends, like, and just like, if you have negative like thoughts come up, things like that, like, just reach out, like, get the help, because it's so final. Like, that's it. And I think sometimes when we're in that dark space, you can kind of you can mistake having the pain ending. Like, you think that's all that happens, but everything stops. Like, your life stops. And yeah, standing there, like, seeing her family, seeing one of our friends like carrying her out, just awful. Like, really sad. And yeah,
Really having to accept life as it comes right now. Control what you can, surround yourself with good people, and continue to chip away each second, each minute, each hour, each day. I'm feeling very grateful for the life I have, the work I have, and continue to put myself and the support network I'm surrounded by. When life is challenging, I really see how all the little things I've worked on and tools that I've gained added up to make such a difference. Sending love to anyone who is feeling challenged by life right now can be really bloody hard. A reminder to reach out and that you're not alone. We all experience the wave of life, whether it is or isn't seen. Lots of love.
It's sad, You can watch someone turn their whole life around, and from an outside perspective, it can look great, and they take their life, and that's it. And it's just really, just the biggest takeaway from it is check in on yourself, get the help you need, check in on your friends, whether life looks great, whether it doesn't. Don't have the bullshit conversations of, yeah, I'm good, thanks. Like, actually, like, go there. And yeah, it's hard. And, I really hope like she's found her peace, and I feel like incredibly sad that that's it. Incredibly
Are you at peace?
sad. Sorry?
Are you at peace?
Am I at peace? I think that's funny. I think peace, everything's fleeting, There's moments I'm at like deep peace, and there's moments I have things come up that I'm not at peace. I'm tormented, Do
you think that'll always be the case?
I think it's the case for a lot of us. This is like the greatest thing you can learn in life that's really hard to accept, for better or for worse, is that it all ends. That the only constant thing in life is change, is the fluidity of it. I might feel like absolute shit, but I don't feel like that right now, but like I may, like if I feel that way, then okay, what do I know I need to do to ride this wave out? And then when it's good, like jumping on that and just embracing it for what it is, because I know that life will come along and something will happen. Like, none of it lasts forever.
Yeah, I saw someone say the other day that they had an issue with people saying they just want to build an empire. Have you heard people say, I just want to build as big as I can?
Yeah.
The only commonality amongst empires is it all comes to an end.
Yeah. It's interesting. I think it comes it comes back again to just glorifying this, glorifying this state of this constant state of being, or that, you know, it's not possible. Like, the best thing you can do for yourself is accept that sometimes it'll be great, sometimes it'll be shit, and you need to find what you need to ride through all those seasons of life. Like, look at the world. Like, everything that is within the world is then mimicked in our lives. Like, look at the seasons. Never constant, always moving. If it's summer, we wear less. It's hot. If it's winter, you put your jacket on. If it's raining, you know, you put an umbrella up.
I'll be wearing this in summer. Don't you worry.
But it's like, we move with the seasons of the world, and we need to understand that just like that, our lives, they're one and the same, and we need to learn to move with those as well.
The greatest gift I've ever given myself was my own self-acceptance. I looked at my life. I looked at all the things that came before me and decided that I didn't want to keep going that way. Once I allowed myself to really embrace who I was, I was actually angry, because through the value I'd given myself, I'd also shown people to value in the same way. It's a word from yourself as well.
Man, that's been some fire.
People always say that when I read the old quotes.
Yeah.
The greatest gift I've ever given myself was my own self-acceptance.
Yeah. Well, because in the world, you can be whoever the fuck you want. Like, online, in person, I think the online world makes it a lot easier, but being able to create any facade, any mask you want, continuing to like pile on top. You know, we can all see insights. We can all see what people like to see of us. We can all see what's enjoyable. But at what point do you give up who you are for that? Like, there's a trade-off to everything. And I think when you can get to a place where you go, yeah, this is me. I'm imperfect. I make mistakes. I'm going to continue to make mistakes in my life. It's honestly, it's so freeing. And we can change ourselves. We can learn things. We can do that. But I think you'll find that the essence of who you are will always be as it is.
Have you ever given up who you are for something else?
Yeah. So many times. Why'd you
do that?
Because it's safety. We all do it because we feel like it's naturally built into us to want to be accepted, to want to, like, it's been so challenging over the years. Like, people come along for the journey with you, and a lot of people don't enjoy it as we change, as we become someone that's unfamiliar to them. But there comes a point where you have to decide, do you want to stay in the box you've already outgrown? Like, how much does it mean to you to make everyone around you happy? Like, will you give up your life for it? Because you'll give it up forever. And most people do it. Like, you know, we decide our lives on what is going to cause the least amount of disruption, what is going to keep us in that constant space that keeps everyone comfortable and, you know, keeps the peace, makes everyone safe. But there's like, that's not life. Like, you have to move. You have to grow. Otherwise, what's the point? You've seen your life. You know the outcome of what you do every single day. If you do the same thing every day, you know that outcome.
It's funny. I've seen a lot of people that have grown up with that piece. Like, I had probably the most relentless businessman that I've ever had in this room, who sat in the chair that you did. And he looked at me in the eyes and said that he grew up with a life of peace. With parents that, you know, risk aversion, you know, saved every cent. And he is the complete.
Yeah.
And it was like, I looked at what they all wanted for me and I didn't want that.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty common these days, is he is like this or she is like this, so they must be this.
Yeah. Have you ever done something you don't want to do and like, but in the way of like, you know, when you do something because you want to make people happy, but it goes so far against who you are and you become resentful.
Less so these days.
Yeah.
Growing up for sure.
But growing up for sure. But most people can relate to that. We come to resent our lives for things people never asked us to do. That's our decision. Like we need to draw the line of where our choice is. Like in your choice is power.
Can you pinpoint a change or something that's happened in your life for you to come to that conclusion? Or a better question for that is, can you remember a time where you were doing things for other people but not really yourself?
Yeah. So many times throughout my life.
Has that changed?
Yeah, definitely. And everyone's better for it. Like, you know, when we do that and we become resentful, we think that we're making everyone else happy around us, but we're not actually doing good for the people around us either because it's not genuine. You know, when you actually get real with yourself, and it's not to say, of course, you still give to people and you still meet people halfway and all of those things, but you do it in an authentic way. And it's not good for us and it's not good for other people to just be like full of shit, honestly. Like it's not healthy. And I think these days we mistake a lot of it's just, we need to come back to authenticity and what that really is.
What is it?
It's authenticity, and it doesn't mean that you don't authenticity, that's like really hard to define, but I think if you mean it in the way of like relationships or different things, it's having a certain understanding of who you are, who the people are that like are involved, and being able to communicate to meet each other halfway, but not being, I don't know, like there's a big difference between an authentic relationship and an inauthentic one. And it's like, to be around these people, do you have to be someone you're not? Does who you are around those people sit badly with you? You know?
I remember you said in a conversation, you said this year, that something, you were talking about relationships and how you would struggle to open up to a partner.
Yeah.
The fact you have one now, what do you think's changed in you to because I'm assuming you don't have that view now.
I think it's still hard.
Really?
Yeah. But it's finding someone who meets you where you're at. And yeah, it's uncomfortable to have someone see you like exactly as you are, because I'm not perfect. Like, who is? But, you know, I know that I want the relationship I have is one where I can be honest. You know, I don't want a relationship that comes and goes. Like, I want a relationship that stands the test of time, that has strong foundations, and that doesn't come from pretending I'm someone I'm not. Like, I don't want someone to fall in love with a facade that I put on to make them like me.
See you as you are, you said before.
Yeah.
Is that a good, you know, it's hard for me to frame that, a question around that, but are you scared then? Like, before you had that relationship, would you be scared for someone to see you as you really are?
I think for me, a massive part has been my friends and developing really honest relationships with them. Like, I've learned a lot through that. But for any of us, I think it can be uncomfortable to allow people in to see us as we are, because, you know, you can put a mask on, and if people don't like that, you can kind of brush it off to yourself and go, oh, well, you know, that's not really me. I was just kind of being that person because that's who I thought they wanted me to be. But if we stand in front of someone and we go, this is me, this is all I've got, this is all I have, and someone goes, yeah, not for me, that's pretty hard to swallow. Like, you know, it's probably for the best for you, because, you know, you allow that honest dialogue where someone goes, hey, actually, you know, I don't think this is going to work. Like, I just don't think we're right for each other. But, you know, that's still better than, you know, putting on a facade and getting however long down the line and being like, oh, I can't keep this up anymore, super tiring. And then having that conversation where someone goes like, oh, they're just not who they were when, like, yeah. But it's hard because, you know, fear of rejection, all these things, we have it. We want to be liked.
I have that fear that they'll see me as someone that doesn't switch off, constantly overthinking. I don't think that'll be me forever though.
Yeah.
And I have a clear vision of what I want. But it's like the person that I am right now. Is that fair for someone else? Probably not.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's also, it's like for the right person. Do you know what I mean? But you to allow someone the real opportunity to decide that for themselves, you need to show up honestly. And that's the thing.
The sooner you embrace your unique qualities and ask yourself what sparks you up, the sooner you really start living. Life is so short, try and fail, but do it so that you're waking up every day with your vision in mind, not your vision of someone else's perfect life.
It's good.
That's words from yourself as well.
It's just good. Like, but it's true. You know, I just think it all the time because there's so many lives that we can live. But I do believe that we all have a life that is in our hearts, that, you know, there's something for us to follow. I all believe that we have that. I think at the start it can be a really small whisper, but the more you go towards it, the louder it gets. And I don't feel like there's anything we can do better than live out our life's purpose.
Do you think there are a lot of people that aren't doing that?
Of course there are.
Yeah.
Of course there are, but it's not to be judgmental because it's fucking hard.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually really hard because there's so many different expectations that are put on us from, you know, society, from school, from our families, from our friends. Like, it can be really hard to break out of that and to become someone unknown to what we've been around, to what we've grown up around. Like, you know, when you would have experienced it as you started, like, you know, the steak lad and real estate, like, they're two different worlds.
That was a question I had. What would be a bit of advice for someone that was in the mindset that I was in when I first saw you? They're perhaps in between where they are and where they want to go. They know they're destined for more. What would be your advice to them? Start
in just pieces. To start piecing it together. To start following the breadcrumbs. You know, just picking one up at a time and just, you know, it's really hard. I wrote about this the other day and I was saying change is always going to be scary. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's always going to be scary. And when I think about change, there's two ways you can go about it and it depends on who you are. I think we can do it in small bits and, you know, get to learn that part of ourselves, explore it, continue going towards it. But I do really feel like there can be a moment along the trail where you have to look at yourself and go, am I walking in circles and absolutely bullshitting myself now, or am I continuing to take steps? Because we can get to a place where I feel like we adjust, the fear takes over and we continue just doing circles on the same step. And at that point, it's literally backing yourself into a corner and just going for it. Like, I think that's the options, like taking the small steps or putting yourself in a position where you have nowhere else to go but towards your end game.
I think if you're doing that like I am, there needs to be some form of external. I saw this the other day. I'm going to play it up.
Yeah.
And it said,
you would be good for this question.
Yeah.
Where all of that effort that you're accumulating is underneath the surface, and then all of a sudden it shoots off because all of that time that you spent underneath the surface was compounding in the right direction. It's the same with my running. It's the same with my business. It's the same with my finances. It was slow as fuck. I would make a little bit of money, save a little bit of money, get to like 10,000 in my bank account, and I'd be like, I'm set now, and then you would drop below. But slowly you get to the point where it just doesn't go backwards. And it doesn't go backwards not because of my own actions, it doesn't go backwards because we've literally reached terminal velocity where it can't go backwards. And your business will do the same thing. You'll get to the point where your brand is so big that it has an orbit and it just brings people in because so many people are talking about you that even if you did nothing, your business would be successful. And you can get there and it'll happen really fast. It just means that you need to take the actions that are going to compound in that direction in the future.
It's good. So much of it is, it's all the compounding things that we do every day. And it's really important that if you want to change, that you get to know that next version of yourself. Because, we've both experienced, like, you go through a period where you're changing and, you see who you're going to be way before anyone else sees it.
You saw that.
Yeah. I remember we talked about it. Yeah.
But I wasn't. I was just like, normal.
Yeah. But it's good, It's important that when we look at people, we see who they are, but we also see who they can be, and we remind them of that.
Why's that?
Because people need to hear that. We're sitting here, we're having that conversation now, and you go, you saw that. I could have not said anything. But, like, when you recognize something in someone, tell them, because you don't know the seasons they might go through where, it's dark, they're working away, and maybe that's like comes into their mind, like, I'm not the only one seeing this. Someone else has seen this in me.
Yeah. I think I've battled with the feeling that I am enough.
Yeah. Do you feel like you'll ever feel enough?
Yeah.
Honestly.
I heard Chris Williamson say the other day that if you're a woman and you're listening to this and you're supporting a man that doesn't feel like they're enough, you should just say to them, look them in the eyes, you are. No, you can, I know you want to be more. I know you're not where you want to be, but I love you for who you are, not for the person that you are wanting to become. And it shifted and that's what I said before, like, I am seeking calm at the moment. Calm in the sense of this is all going to work out, not the fear, like the fear that I was operating on a few weeks ago. And I'm glad I have people in my life that honestly, my housemate messaged me and said, I'm worried. I'm worried for your state of mind.
Yeah.
And I couldn't see it.
Yeah.
But then I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, okay, I see what you see.
Well, even the other week, like, you came to my run and one of my friends who's met you a few times, like, spoke to me about seeing you, and they were, like, concerned about you.
Yeah,
They're like, he seems like he's really deep in it right now.
Yeah, I'm in the thick of it. Yeah.
Like, you're in the thick of it. And but I think this is the thing as well, like, people listen to your podcast and people listen to you talking, like, you ask everyone the big questions and all these things, and it's always on other people, like how does it feel, it being on yourself, like how are you? How does it actually feel to be building something that, you know, you can see but not everyone else can always see? How is that from your words?
It's a good question.
Yeah, we have time.
Yeah, I know. Isolating. I think I said the other day I'm operating with the desire, or with the I'm operating on the thing that's keeping me going is what it could be.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why I'm pushing so hard. Is the fear of what? Not the fear. It's the possibility of what's coming, and no one else can see. I mean,
I don't know if it's true. No one else can see it.
Yeah, people can see it. Yeah,
People can see it.
People can see it. Yeah.
Do you ever fear not getting there?
Where's there?
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
But do you, like, obviously you have a vision in your mind. Do you fear slowing down? Do you fear?
I think I'm moving in the right, like, I'm doing what I need to do, and I've learnt enough in the past few months that it might happen slowly. It's not going to happen overnight.
No.
But I'm taking the steps necessary to get there.
It's good. You're very logical, like, in what you do, and I think that's having a plan, being logical, but also balancing it with, you know, pulling the trigger is really important.
I know for a fact there would be not many people that would be, you know, have continued what I've done without the reward.
Yeah.
I know that for a fact because I've seen it.
Yeah.
But I've got a real fear of holding myself accountable to the actions that I set up. If I say I'm going to do something, I have a fear of, and it's in my whole time since I've run this thing, I've never not once. In fact, that's a lie. Last week on YouTube, my YouTube podcast didn't upload on time.
Yeah.
Because I didn't realise.
Yeah.
It had failed. So I could upload it. But that's the only time in the whole 85 episodes that an episode hasn't gone out on time. And that's because I made the promise to myself that it would go out at the same time every week. And I have a fear of saying I'm going to do something but not doing it. So, yeah.
What do you think your word means to you?
It's everything.
Yeah.
You don't need to. Yeah, if I say I'm going to do something, I get it done. And it's, you know, like for a voiceover example, because I do content, obviously, like even if it's a voiceover or something, or say I was going to be ready by this time, like I'll stay up till whatever time to get it done.
Do you feel like your word carries over the same with yourself as it does with others?
What do you mean?
As in, like, some people will, you know, have their word and say they'll do something, and when other people are involved and their word always stands, but when they're the only one who knows their word, it gets harder to hold.
It's hard. It depends on what situation it is.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's a really good value to have.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I've always had it.
Where do you think it comes from?
I think it comes from people assuming I was going to be a particular person, or probably that, you know, like when I was growing up, I always, like I struggled to fit in sometimes, and, you know, like smart, like I always struggled with common sense, like common knowledge stuff. And like learning, and like I was never good at learning. So like, but I could work really hard, but I could show up, but I could do the things that people aren't willing to do. And I think it's just a byproduct of feeling probably less than. Like it's a byproduct of not feeling like you're like everyone else
Yeah.
is but I will show up and I'll be relentless and I'll do whatever it takes
Because you can control that.
because I can control that.
Yeah.
I've
and
got
when
an
we
all
have
in.
control, it makes us feel
Yeah.
comfortable and
Yeah.
it gives us security.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it does. Because
Yeah.
when we can set ourselves these massive things and then if it's in our control to pursue it, then we will pursue it. Yeah.
Life's like a wild tiger. You can either lie down and let it lay as you pour on your head or sit back and let it ride. The entire point of life is to take chances on dreams that seem crazy to most but feel like destiny to you.
It's so good.
I don't think the first quote was for you, but the second quote was.
The first one,
Is a quote, yeah.
yeah, I've loved that quote since I was like a kid. Like I remember reading that and probably in like primary school and just knowing like I never want to be the person that has like the wild tiger put its paw on my head. Like I want to get on its back and ride it. You know, wherever it takes me. Life's wild. Like, and, you know, I feel like it's hard because I'm obviously quite young. We're both quite young, but I've seen a lot of sides of life and it is absolutely unforgiving. Like no one is owed anything and it's good to remember that. But, you know, there's no reason why we can't just get on its back and just go.
You asked me before if I had a fear of things not working out as I had planned. Is there a part of your life or a higher purpose or a vision that you're working towards that you have that fear on?
There's lots of things like I would love to do in my life, you know, but I think the one thing that I'd be disappointed in myself, it's not a physical thing, it's not an achievement. Like I'd be disappointed if I didn't just try and I didn't just live this life with everything I've got. You know, I'd be disappointed in myself if I didn't do that.
Is that not a fear? Or is that something that pushes you to do things you otherwise wouldn't?
100%. Like I never want to wonder why. I never want to be the person that waits around for someone else to do it. Like why not? Why not try? Why not be the person that has a go? I just like so, you know, I never want to be that person like standing around like looking at their watch like, oh, when's someone else gonna do it? When you know, like making my problems the world's problems. Well, like I'm someone. We're all someone. Like we can all be the person that turns something around. So why not? Why not try? And I just, you know, I feel that so deeply. Like I actually take it personally. Like I just, you know, when something affects me, I take it personally and I think like if I can do something here, I want to do it.
Do you think about the end?
The end.
Mortality.
Yeah. I think, you know, I think people think it's really gruesome to think about the end, but it's important to remember death and remember that, like, this is it. Time's going and it can be easy to let your days tick away and, you know, there's life now is pretty easy to escape. It's pretty easy to not be here, to not be present. And I want to remember that at any point, this could be it. You know, like I could get in my car and like get in an accident, like, you know, touch wood, doesn't happen. I hope not. But, you know, nothing's promised to us. We think the world owes us anything. It doesn't owe us anything. Like, so all we can do is just wake up and try, wake up and be whoever we can on that day. And that's it.
You can change your entire bloodline the moment you realize what you do next always matters more than what you did last.
So true. It's just a pursuit. Like you just got to keep pursuing. there's no end. That's the best thing. It's like there's no end. I just want to keep pursuing. I just want to keep doing what I'm doing. I just want to keep chipping away at it every day. I just want to wake up and like go at what I'm doing.
Do you think that's the most important part of having something to pursue, having something that fuels you? Is that the most, or is that the secret to life, I guess?
I think so. I love pursuing.
Yeah.
Like even if it's just pursuing authenticity, even if it is just pursuing being that little bit better each day. I think it's like, what is life without pursuit? Pursuing being a little more calmer. Pursuing, like, it doesn't matter what you pursue, just pursue your life. Because this is all you have. And, people believe all different things like, oh, I'll catch you in the next life or this one. Well, you're here now. Like, let's just be present. Like, let's just do now.
I think it'd be remiss of me not to touch on what you went through recently and why I'm looking down and worried that I'm going to kick your leg.
Kick my leg.
Yeah. Well, I move around sometimes. This is probably the most still I've ever
seen
been.
You check down a few times. I'm like, oh, it's there.
This is like the most still I've ever sat, I think, in a podcast. Normally,
me too, honestly. I have to keep my legs still. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it like at the lowest point
of what I did?
What did you do?
Yeah, so there's so many bits to it, but I set out to do 190 Ks around a track, and obviously, I feel like we talked about this like quite a few times before I did it, and my experience with struggling with my mental health in construction and wanting to do something that was able to move the needle. And yes, I set out to do 190 Ks for the 190 construction workers we lose every year to suicide in Australia, raising funds for TACS. So they provide free counselling for all blue collar workers, which is amazing. I have used them myself. As I said, it's hard to get onto services in Australia. So having a number you can call, and they work with blue collar workers every day. So it's awesome, like the work they do. I trained leading up to the event for ages. I felt freaking awesome. I broke myself many times over to get to the start line.
How so?
To train for that, I had to just put my blinkers on. That was my life, because it was such a big challenge for me, because I've run and in bits and pieces, but I wouldn't have considered myself a runner. So to get to the point where my body could do it was massive. And leading into that, I'd lost my friend 2 days prior to suicide, and it was just emotionally just taking that first step felt so hard. It's crazy. I actually recorded a video before I started talking about how I was feeling and being really aware that whatever happened out there would really show my character. And leading up to it, I think there were people that, said I wouldn't be able to do it, and that really brought up, fear of failure for me and everything. So, yeah, I started, and at 60 Ks, everything had been going well. I kind of, as anything like that, you go through the highs and lows. I said to my whole support crew, this event is going to be a lifetime compressed down into 48 hours. We're just going to go on the journey of life in a short period, because that's what those experiences are like. You go through the highs and the lows, and they happen back to back. But yeah, so it was things were going really well. Like had a few like, you know, different things happen and got 60 Ks and something happened. Like I was just like, I literally like got to a point where I could not like stand on my left leg. I was like, I can't. It was incredibly painful, and I had a physio there and he was watching me, and like I just kept trying to push, and he was like, oh, I started hyperextending my knee. So we're like, okay, I've hyperextended my knee. Okay. So we strapped my knee, and I remember looking at my boyfriend and I said to him, I think have I broken my leg? I think I've broken my fucking leg. And he was just like, no, you haven't broken your leg. And everyone that was in my support crew are people that are very close to me and who have like ridden through some really low lows with me and some high highs, like vice versa. We've held each other through a lot. And on the briefing call leading up, everyone was given like super strict instructions that we were locked in. This is what we were doing. And I was to be pushed to finish it did not matter. I was finishing. Like, don't give me time to complain. Don't give me time to whine about what was going on. Just keep making me stand back up and go. So it actually ended up leading into this weird thing where I was kind of like, I feel like something's broken in me, but everyone else is kind of like, nah, you're sweet. Keep going. So I continued on. I went literally right through the night. It would have been over 12 hours of like feeling like I could barely take a step. At one point, like I could barely walk, and then something happened, and I actually had a group of my friends, like they came and prayed for me, like they prayed for my leg, and I like somehow like I was able to walk. Like I started being able to bear weight like on my leg. Like it was incredibly painful, but I just started walking. I was like, okay, I'm walking this thing out. And I just kept going lap after lap after lap. And I could not run. I tried to run and it was near impossible. Like it's hard to imagine not being able to run, but like I literally couldn't. And I would just try like throughout the night to like nearly disassociate myself because the pain was so unbearable. Like just like it was insane. I also was really lucky. I had different people like who came through and like spent the night with me just walking, you know, going like just one step at a time. One of my mates, he came and he literally like I would put my head in my jacket with just my eyes out and I would like half shut my eyes and I would just stare at a line on the track and like breathe into my jacket. And as soon as I would start to come off my line, he'd just go, get on your line. Just walk. Control your breath. Control your mind. Get on your line. Just keep going. And it was honestly, like, I do not know if I will experience pain like that in my life. Like, it was incredibly, it felt just never ending. But on the other side of it, I also had this really incredible gratitude for my body. And like at 60 Ks, I thought I literally cannot stand. And by the morning, like seeing the sun come up, I got to 112 Ks. And at that point, I was just like, it was so painful. It was fucked. Like, it was actually fucked. And it got to the morning and everyone, like my whole crew were like so tired. Like pushing someone through that is like, it's disturbing, honestly. I think everyone like cried. Like it was so emotionally taxing on the people in my life because obviously they care a lot about me and they started to fear, like medically I was like done at K60 and they started to worry that my mind was too strong for my body. And yeah, it was hard. But anyway, my crew got, like everyone kind of started coming in the morning and Connor, he came and I just said to him, I was like, I just want to talk to you. Like, I just want to have a chat with you. And we went into the room and I literally just said to him, I'm fucking done. Like, I think I'm done. Like, I couldn't even stand. Like, it was like the tiniest bit of my foot would touch the ground. It would just send like shocks through my body. And he said, what did you want to achieve? Like, why did you do this? And I said, I wanted to raise awareness. I wanted to raise money for counselling and construction. And I wanted to push myself. Tick, tick, tick. So what was stopping me being done? The only thing that came to my mind that was stopping me from being done was the fear of what other people would think and the fear of, you know, all the people that said that I couldn't do it and that they were right and I wasn't good enough. Like I couldn't fucking do it. I wasn't good enough. And in that moment, I honestly just did not care. Like I didn't care. I was just like, I've actually done everything I wanted to do. Like I know there's nothing more I could have left out there. And from there, Jacob, he picked me up. Like I could not walk and carried me and put me on a camp chair. And we decided that, you know, everything I was doing was to raise awareness and to actually fucking ask for help when you can't do it. And so that's what I did. I asked like all my crew, all my community to get to 190 for me. And so everyone like banded together that morning and finished off the Ks as a group. And obviously my leg's fractured. Like my leg's fractured. But it was like that experience literally rewired my brain for so many reasons. And there was so many people worried, like even I worried coming out of it, like because when I made that choice like to end it, I felt so happy because I knew it was right. And I stand by the fact like, you know, I can put myself through nearly any situation like mentally, which is like, it doesn't scare me, but it's like very telling. And I think if I had have pushed myself to the point of getting to 190 Ks, I actually would have hated myself because the only thing that would have got me there was what other people thought of me. And instead, like I asked for help. I said, who cares? Like people will move on, and I did what I wanted to do.
What would be the message to yourself next time we catch up in 12 months for the version of you that went through what you did? What would you say to yourself?
It honestly just reminded me of the way I live my life and the way I want to remember to live my life. And it's that life will always be challenging. But that was something I chose to do. That was a hard that I chose. And I was able to call it. and I stepped out of that. And there's nothing harder. Like, there's things way worse in life than the hard things that we choose to do. So it's just a reminder to be grateful when it's good, and when it's hard, just stay locked in, stay knowing that it's going to pass. It all passes. And the only thing that we can do is control our attitudes, control what we can.
The sooner you embrace your unique qualities and ask yourself what sparks you up, the sooner you really start living. No, sorry. No, that was the wrong quote, sorry. Coming into this, my biggest fear was failure, but over 24 hours on my feet, I began to redefine what failure really means. Sorry, I remember you saying that before. You said something about failure, and it redefined what you actually thought. And then I remember I wrote that down. What do you mean when you say redefine what failure really means?
Well, throughout that time, like being out there and like in such a, like, it was just so dark. Like, I can't explain like where I went when I was out there. Like, it was just so dark. And I think so often we define our wins and our failures based off what other people think. And there is not one part of me that feels like I failed. And it just really reminded me that, like, don't base our fucking lives off what other people think of us. Like, you waste your life. And if you try and please the world, you will never have the life you want, because the world will never be satisfied. You can never satisfy the world. You can never please it enough. But I do believe you can live a life for yourself that you're content with. You can find a place where you ride the highs and lows and you feel it, and sometimes it's hard, sometimes it's great, but you're content with that because that's your life. You know, my life's not perfect, but it's my life, and fuck, I love it. Like, I am so grateful. You know, I go home, my house is peaceful. Like, I love like all the aspects of my life, and it's not to say it's perfect. It's not to say I'm where I want to be, but it's where I am right now, and I'm good with that.
Sounds like you found joy in the small things.
It is, because
Yeah, that's what it is, sorry.
But it is that. But,
Yeah.
you know, the big things are fleeting.
Yeah.
The big things are fleeting, and it's really, I think everyone in their life should do something that they don't know if they're going to get there or not, that it pushes them to actually redefine what they're capable of. It's really, really important. You know, a lot of us shoot for goals that we know we're going to get. Well, what happens if you put yourself in a space where you don't know if you're going to get there? You know, it's like, it's scary. It's exciting. You don't know. But the one thing you will know is, like, you will see who you are.
I think the answer to that, is exactly that.
Yeah.
Well, you see who you are, but you won't. Yeah, you'll figure out who you are along the way.
Yeah, you do. You
That's the
figure
answer.
out who you are along the way. You know, I think it's good to define in our lives. There are things that the world considers scary that for us isn't. And you need to find what actually is scary for you and what actually makes you step out of your comfort zone and do that. Not do the thing that the world says is out of your comfort zone but is within yours.
On the other side of that is meaning,
Yeah.
purpose. But I think the flip side to that is the moving goalpost and the fact that things will likely never change. I think that's an inevitability of everything, in the sense that if you set out a goal, what it looks like for you in 12 months, 6 months, even a month is going to change.
Yeah.
And that's why acknowledging those small wins along the way is still important.
It's good. And just, you know, just the whole process of working towards that and just like training for that was my life, and like waking up, and that, like, it took everything for me. And like there were so many days like I was so tired or I was injured during my training or whatever, and like the only thing I could, like some days I would just like think about the younger version of myself, like really struggling, not having access to support, thinking about, you know, whoever was out there struggling on that day, and just like literally holding that in my mind, and I would just see myself running towards that.
You wrote, "Hold on, the best is yet to come."
It's true.
Couldn't agree more.
It's good.
Is there anything we haven't spoken about today that you'd want to touch on?
Not really.
You
I
happy?
feel like we had a pretty good chat. I feel like
Went
we
quick.
always have pretty good chats.
Yeah. You said that last time. We had a good chuckle because you said whenever we have a good chat. Now, whenever we chat, I feel like it just goes so well. And you said that when we were doing our first podcast, and I was like, I've only known you for like 2 weeks.
I know, but it's true.
Yeah, it's 100%
you know, some
true.
people you just talk to and it's like, it's good. You know?
Or something to end it with.
Okay.
Here we go.
Hey, that's my girl. Hi, Perky. Bardie fucking Somerville. What, where, and how do I even start this? To be two strangers crossing paths at a community to nearly instantly becoming best friends, and the law that was going to come from that friendship, no one could have guessed it. But it has been one of the most pivotal moments of my life, getting to know you and having you in my world as one of my best friends, teaching me and guiding me with the magic of you. The way you see the world and the beauty that you hold and love that you hold for everyone and everything around you it's nothing but miraculous. And just the grit and determination you have for life itself. You set yourself a goal, you set yourself a target, you fucking take that shit head on. You have a challenge come up, you take that shit on. And as we both know, sometimes life isn't easy. Life is not easy breezy, and it can be super challenging and super fucking hard. And just watching you move through it with such grace, it seems like. And I know it's hard because I'm there right beside you, darling. You know? And I just want to say, you just keep being you, dude, because everything you do is fucking awesome. Because you're fucking awesome. And I love you so fucking much. And everyone who knows you loves you so fucking much. You are powerful beyond measure. You are magnetic. You are inspiring. You make fucking so much impact with every little thing. And I just fucking am so grateful to call you my best friend. I'm so grateful that you were just in my world, shining your light, not just on me, but every motherfucker around us. But anyways, I'm going to go because, you know, I can keep going and going on about this. But you fucking make waves, babe. You make waves and you fucking move mountains, and never fucking change. Keep being you, because I fucking love ya. I love you, and everyone loves you. Mwah.
That's cool.
I'm lucky. I'm very lucky. Like, I genuinely feel like I have the most incredible people in my life. Like, it's fucked. It is actually crazy. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's just the people I have in my life are just, they're like too good to be true. You know, how can, they're fucking everything. You know.
Not much else I can add to that.
Yeah.
Appreciate your time today.
Appreciate you.
So good.
So good.
Yeah?
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah, it was deep. I knew you'd like that one.
It's fucking fucking Taylor.
Yeah.
She's so classy. It's good.
I was listening to it. I was like, wow, that's deep.
Yeah,
That was so good.
she's good.
Hour and 50 minutes.
Fuck, I'm not surprised.
Really?
To be honest.
That was a good chat.
I feel like we always chat good.
Yeah,
I feel like it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Free flowing.
Yeah.
Brought up some old stuff from the archives.
I know.
I went through and I like the quotes because they like,
I think the quotes are good.
yeah.
They.
That's why
yeah.
the laptop definitely helps.
It's so interesting as well. Like, I think it's funny when, like, through the quotes and stuff that you pick, like, they just, I mean, obviously, like, I write them, but it really mirrors back to me, like, what I value. And it's just like, fuck yeah, that is who I am. You know, it's such a good reminder. And yeah, I'm just like, fuck, I just keep saying the same shit because it's.
Yeah, but
That's it.
that's the way it should be.
Yeah. It's good. Like, I really feel like, fuck, since our last chat, I've come so far. Like, I feel like a totally different person.
Same.
Yeah. You feel like a different person?
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah. Like, things change. And that's why I'm not, like, getting so far ahead with podcasts now.
But it's kind of nice. Like, I feel like, you know, you find a place and obviously there's still those highs and lows, but you find your rhythm and you understand that what you're pursuing and the part of yourself you're pursuing is something you're happy to do forever. You know, it's kind of nice. And obviously, like, you know, that will change and, you know, still, you know, sometimes, like, I love pursuing what I'm pursuing. And some days I still wake up and go, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
You know, as we all do.
I think that's normal.
It's normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm playing
So,
footies
yeah,
now.
you kicked my good foot.
Really? I'm playing footies now. Awesome. No, it was great.
Yeah.